All right, good morning. And today, obviously, I am not here, so just want to make a little video for you guys to see what we've learned about different quadrilaterals. Remember, quadrilateral is a four-sided shape. Okay, so we've learned about quite a few of them. And our first one we've talked about parallelogram. Remember, when we have a parallelogram, it's going to be when two sets of parallel sides on our shape. And so we know the top and the bottom are parallel to each other. We can put those arrowheads. We also know that the left and the right are parallel to each other. Okay, and then as you can see, there's a couple of things we know to be true about all parallelograms. So we know that the opposite angles are congruent. If this angle's 36, then over here is also 36. We know the opposite sides are congruent, right? If this side is 10, then the bottom is also 10. Opposite angles are congruent. Looks like I missed that one. Or no, I just said that one. Sorry. Consecutive angles are supplementary, meaning if they're beside each other. So if that's 36, take that from 180 to figure out what this is, 144. And then finally, the diagonals bisect each other, meaning if they cross and it's equal sided on each part. So remember, that is a parallelogram. A rhombus, a rectangle, and a square are also a parallelogram. So anything that was true up here is also true about a rhombus, rectangle, and square. All right, so our rhombus. This has four congruent sides. And so that means 1, 2, 3, 4. Those four sides are all the same. The diagonals are going to be perpendicular, meaning they form a right angle. So we know that's 90 degrees in the middle. And then the diagonals also bisect a pair of opposite angles, meaning if I draw a diagonal here, we know that these two angles are going to be the same because it's bisected. Likewise, if I draw that diagonal, we form four right angles in the middle here. Now, remember, a square is also a rhombus. So not only is a square a parallelogram, a square is also a rhombus. So all of these things will be true about a square as well. So a rectangle. This is going to be when we have four right angles. So if we draw this, we know that each of these has a right angle. And the other thing we know to be true about a diagonal, besides all the stuff that was true about a parallelogram, is on a rectangle, the diagonals are congruent, meaning they are the same length. Okay. Now your square, if we draw our square, not only does it have four right angles, it also has four congruent sides. So it kind of combines the rectangle and the rhombus. Our other two shapes that we've talked about are not parallelograms. So all of these are parallelograms, these first four. The other two we've talked about would be a kite, we talked about yesterday, and a trapezoid from 2 days ago. So a kite, remember, this is when we have two pairs of consecutive congruent sides. So congruent, we know that's easy. That means the same length. Consecutive means they're next to each other. So like this one and this one are next to each other. These two are also next to each other. Now we know that we're going to have one set of opposite angles. It will always be the one in between the sides that do not match. So those two angles are, so if it was like A, B, C, D, be A and C. We also know the diagonals are perpendicular, meaning they form right angles there in the middle. Not my best on the diagonal, but those are right angles in the middle. Okay, our final shape we've talked about is a trapezoid. So if we have a trapezoid, we know we have one pair of parallel sides. So that is why it is not a parallelogram, because whoa, that was terrible. While the top and the bottom here are parallel, The left and the right side are not, so this is a trapezoid. And keep in mind, we know the mid-segment. If there's a mid-segment, that would mean that these are the same distance. If it's a mid-segment there, we know we can add both the bases, so base 1 plus base 2, and then divide by 2. That'll tell us the length of that mid-segment. Now, the other type of trapezoid, this is more specific. If it's isosceles trapezoid, it has two congruent legs. So it still has a set of parallel sides. And now we know this side and this side are the same. Each time we have an isosceles trapezoid, remember the base angles are congruent. So this and this are the same. The ones on the top are the same on either side. And finally, our diagonals would be congruent. So our diagonals are the same length on an isosceles trapezoid. Now, whether it is a isosceles trapezoid or a normal trapezoid, remember if you have one from each side of the base, those consecutive angles from each base, like the top and the bottom here, those are going to add up to 180. Likewise, these will add up to 180. So if you are stuck on the review, take a look back through your notes, the videos, maybe write some of this stuff down, and hope you guys have a great day. And if you have any questions, let me know. Remember, Monday we'll be able to go over any of this. So hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys later.